The Phillies are just 4 weeks away from opening day, and as we patiently await the beginning of the 2025 season, I thought it would be fun to test our knowledge and memory about past opening days. Specifically, since 2000, what have the Phillies opening day starting lineups looked like? Now, there's a lot more players in here than I expected. As you can see, 275 since 1995. But I figured we would start with the turn of the millennium and start from 2000 to 2024. Welcome into the PHLY Phillies podcast. Tyler Zulli here with you as we have a little fun on this Thursday, a little Thursday trivia, if you will. We're going to try to remember as many players as we can from the Phillies opening day lineups dating back to 2000. Now, play along at home. Let me know how you did in the comment section below. If you beat me, we'll give you a personalized shout out. 2024, the DH, the top of the lineup, the guy who I believe should be the DH and at the top of the lineup in 2025. That remains to be seen, but was the DH in 2024 and 2023. I believe he started in left field in 2022. That would be Kyle Schwarber. Now, the guy who hit second in 2024 and led off the opening day lineup in 2023 was shortstop Trea Turner, who many expect to potentially be the everyday not the everyday shortstop. Of course, it's going to be the everyday shortstop, to be the opening day leadoff hitter for the Phillies in 2025. First base, Bryce Harper. You're going to get him a couple of different times as the DH, as the right fielder, but he was the opening day first baseman last year. In the cleanup spot, it was JT Realmuto as the catcher. He's been the opening day catcher for the Phillies each of the last 5 seasons, I believe. Actually, now it's 6. This will be his 7th year with the Phillies. Playing third for the Phillies in 2024 was Alec Bohm. I expect him to potentially hit 4th or maybe even 3rd in this year's lineup. Second baseman, the last 2 years. The year prior, he was the shortstop, was Bryson Stott. And we'll see where he ends up hitting in the lineup. He could be a guy who hits in 6 different spots. In right field was Nick Castellanos, and he was the right fielder the last 2 years, and then he was the DH, I believe, in 2022. So Nick Castellanos was the everyday right fielder for the Phillies. Didn't miss a game last year for the Phillies in right field, or for the Phillies in general. I think he had a couple days at DH. The left fielder last year to begin the year was Brandon Marsh. Johan Rojas gets the start in center field in 2024. And then for the first time in his Phillies tenure, which is kind of surprising considering how good he's been, 2024, Zach Wheeler was the opening day starter. Expect Zach Wheeler to be the opening day starter in 2025 in Washington as well. But he's only had 1 opening day start with the Phillies, and that is because for the better part of a half a decade, Aaron Nola was the opening day starter for the Phillies. 23, I think he's actually been, if it was 5 straight years. All right, let's go back to 2023 now that 2024 is complete. Who got the start at first base? It wasn't Hoskins, because Hoskins was on the season-ending injured list. All right, so do Rhys Hoskins, because Hoskins is going to be the first baseman in 22 and probably 21 and 20 and 19 and 18, actually, for that matter, too. So Hoskins is in there. Who got the start at first base for the Phillies in 2023? Who started in left field for the Phillies? They had moved Moniak because Marsh was in center, so Moniak was gone. Was it Matt Vierling? Did Vierling get the start in left field? Okay, so Vierling was the center fielder in 22. All right, we're going to come back to this one because I genuinely don't remember who started in left field on opening day. All right, let's go to 2022. The shortstop was... it was Didi Gregorius was the opening day shortstop, I think, in 22. That's why Stott started at third. And then at second base was Gene Segura. All right, so 22 is done. 24 is done. We're going to have to come back to 23 because I genuinely don't remember who started at first base. Let's go to 21. 19, 20, and 21, the leadoff hitter and left fielder was Andrew McCutchen. Who got the start in center? Was it Roman Quinn get the start in center field that year? No, he was 2020. Who started in center in 21? It had to have been Hazley. Because if it wasn't Vierling and it was, I think that's too far out for it to be Odubel, who's going to make this list later, obviously. I think 2021 had to have been Hazley, right? All right, so 21 is complete. Let's go to 20. We've got Kutch, Hoskins, Harper, JT, Didi, Gene, Quinn in center. Was that the year Scott Kingery started at second? I think that was the year that coming off the year that one of these years was the year Scott Kingery. Yeah, okay, so 2020. He got the big contract before he even played any major league games. I don't remember who the DH was in 20. We'll come back to that one because I really don't remember. All right, 2019. Now we're starting to get to the teams that weren't particularly good. 2019 was kind of the corner turner, if you will. Cesar Hernandez at second, I believe, and I think you're going to see Cesar a lot. Cesar Hernandez, I think I was one of Cesar Hernandez's biggest fans. I just thought Cesar Hernandez was a solid player, productive 270, 280 guy, average glove, could steal you a bag or two, but like put together good at bats. I was a big Cesar Hernandez fan. Who is it third? Was Maikel Franco at third in 2019? Let's try Franco because he's going to appear a bunch. He was. Okay. And then who was the center fielder in 2019? I'm going to go with Odubel in this spot. So 2019 is complete. Let's go to 2018. Who got the start at first in 2018? Was that one of these years Tommy Joseph got a start at first? I don't know if it was 16, 17, or 18. But I'm going to go Tommy Joseph. All right, so now I think we're to a point where we're probably going to bounce around a little bit because I'm just going to throw names at you, Joe, and see what sticks. Nick Williams was in the outfield at least once. And then for whatever reason, when I think of Nick Williams, the next player immediately becomes Aaron Altair. Freddie Galvis, I think, was the shortstop that year and for a bunch of years. Okay, so he wasn't that year. He was a couple years prior, but who started at short in 2018 if it wasn't Freddie Galvis? All right, I'm going to rattle off a bunch of catchers for you. Let's go Cameron Rupp, R-U-P-P. Andrew Knapp, K-N-A-P-P. All right, so I need first and short. Was 20... Am I missing a first baseman in... All right, so either 16 or 18 was Carlos Santana, but I don't remember which year it was. But he was definitely the first... All right, so he was 18. And who am I missing at short in 2018? It was before Didi. It was Galvis didn't get... I think that was the year Galvis got suspended. Who was at short that year? All right, let's move on. I don't want to take too much time. 2017, I'm missing left, right, and the starting pitcher. I think this is probably in this range somewhere is where Jeremy Hellickson made back-to-back opening day starts. These teams were terrible. Like, these teams really, really sucked. 15, 16, 17 was just dreadful baseball to the point where Jeremy Hellickson not only made a opening day start, but made consecutive opening day starts. These teams were so bad. All right, I don't know which year he was, but Michael Young got a start at third one year, 2013. All right, and now we're kind of running into like the peak, the end of the good teams, the end of the good teams. Like the Phillies started trading their stars. So like, all right, let's add in the three big names. Jimmy Rollins, who I think made it to like 14. Chase Utley, who I think made it till maybe 14 as well. Okay, so he made it to 15. And then Ryan Howard, I think, made it to 16. Now we're gonna jump around a little bit. You could do Jason Worth. Pat Burrell, I think, is going to be until 8, so you won't see him on the screen. Because you could do Ibanez in left. Hunter Pence, P-E-N-C-E, I think got one opening day start. Ty Wigginton was a third baseman at one point for this team. Oh my God, some of these teams sucked, man. Did John Mayberry get any opening day starts? I know he was, you know what? I know he had a walk-off on opening day one year. I want to say it was in 9 or 10 maybe, but I don't remember if he started. Okay, so he was the 2012 and 2013. Who am I missing? Who caught games? Cole, you could put Cole Hamels in for opening day starter. He got a bunch of opening day starts. Brett Myers got some starts probably a little bit earlier. Who was 10, 11, and 12? Oh, duh. Roy Halladay. Well, what is that? Did we just get the answer to a question? The unfortunate part about Sporkle is when you put in a name, if there's like a piece of the name in somebody else's name, you get that player. So like when we did Roy Halladay, it gave us Derek Hall. So thank you, Sporkle, for your answer. I appreciate it. Cliff Lee, I think, was the 2014 opening day starter. Another guy who only made one opening day start for the Phils. How am I missing so many guys? Who was in center field in 13 and 14? Did we do Victorino yet? We did. All right, so who took over in 13 and 14? Let's go up. We'll come back to these names. All right, you can stop right there. Placido Polanco is going to be twice on here. Early in the 2000s, he'll be at second. Later in the 2000s, he'll be at third. All right, let's. So 2012 is done. Who are we missing? Where are we? Let's go to 2007. Actually, no, let's go to 2008 and 2009. Pedro Feliz was the third baseman those two seasons. 2007, let's go to third was Wes Helms. Center field was Aaron Rowand. And then who was the catcher? Try Chris Coste, Coste. I'm not sure if he was a starter at any point. No? Oh, you know who it was? 2007. I think it was Rod Barajas. I don't think he was 6, but let's do David Bell because I know he was definitely 4 and maybe 5. Right field in 2006. I don't know. You could put Bobby Abreu in. I don't know how far he goes up, but Bobby Abreu is going to take a chunk. Okay, so he was in 2006. How much time do we have left? Time check. Oh, gosh, we got to get moving. I'm missing a lot of guys here. All right. 2006, Kevin Millwood, I believe, got an opening day start that year. So let's do catcher. Let's do Mike Lieberthal. John Lieber's going to come up. Mike Lieberthal. So do Lieber because Lieber's going to come up. I know he had at least one. 2001, I don't know if he was 1 or 2, but Robert Person got an opening day start. And then the other one, I think, is Omar Dahl. Kenny Lofton got a start in 2005. Okay. Jim Thome was the first baseman in 04 and 05. Doug Glanville was in center. Okay. Scott Rowland at third, Rolen. Second was Marlon Anderson. And then a guy that is going to maybe come up here, but is also going to come up later, Marlon Byrd. Dominic Brown is going to get some starts, I think, in left field. Oh, my gosh. Can we go back down at this point? Wait, hold on. Actually, 2004, third base. Who was the third baseman in 2004? All right, scroll back down. I'm going to try to sneak some of these. You know who got a start in 2016, because that's how bad this team was Peter Borges. Oh, God. Who was in left and in right? Who was in third? 2015? Was the catcher in 2013 Eric Kratz? It was, but time ran out. Oh, it was Ashy was at third. That's right. Who else do we miss? Rico Bronya was 99. 2000, let's see. Gant, Bronya, Sefik. Andy Ashby got the start. Abraham Nunez. Ben Francisco, Wilson Valdez. Yeah, I mean, some of these guys I should have gotten. All right, so we ended up Michael Saunders. That's right. So we ended up and Jay Bruce. Jake Cave got a start last year. Jake Cave was the opening day left fielder for this team. Oh, my God. 2 years ago, that was. All right, so we ended up with 218. It's, obviously we didn't put a whole lot of onus on 95 through 99, but 218 in its entirety probably could have done a little bit better, but I'm okay with that. Let me know down in the comments what you ended up with. If you got more than 218, we'll give you a shout out on the next trivia video. Big thanks to Joe and Andrew for producing today's show. We'll be back at it tomorrow, live with a 1-hour podcast. We'll be talking about specifically 6 years ago tomorrow, or today if you're watching this on Friday. 6 years ago on February 28th, one of the most important free agent signings in Phillies baseball and maybe Philadelphia sports history happened on this day 6 years ago. We'll talk about that and some of the other peak free agent signings that the Phillies have had over the years. Thanks so much for hanging out with us right here on the PHLY Phillies podcast.